Inspired by the true story of Dawn DeLuise. Hope Goldman is a successful skincare clinic owner in Hollywood, Los Angeles, known for treating high-profile celebrity clients. She runs her business, Hope Goldman Skincare, alongside her loyal assistant, Maureen. One day, Hope is invited onto a major talk show hosted by Brett, where she discusses her journey in the industry and promotes her upcoming skincare line. She proudly explains that her products are made in Italy with top-tier quality, and the official launch is just 2 weeks away. Later that same day, after finishing treatments at her clinic, Hope notices a brand new business opening directly across the street. Trying to be a good neighbor, she decides to stop by and offer one of her latest skincare products as a welcome gift. The new place is called Shimmer, a skincare clinic and brand owned by a man named Angel. After receiving the gift, Angel politely says he hopes Hope does not see him as competition. He then asks her to move her car, since it is parked in Shimmer's designated area. That small comment immediately irritates Hope, and she takes her gift back without hesitation. And just like that, a simple moment sparks something much bigger. This is skincare. Still upset, Hope confronts Jeff, the property owner, questioning why he would rent the space across from her clinic to a direct competitor. They have known each other for 15 years, and she feels betrayed. On top of that, Hope is already dealing with serious financial pressure. The investor who was supposed to fund her product launch has suddenly disappeared, leaving her struggling to stay afloat. She is even having trouble paying for her annual lease renewal. Jeff, however, makes it clear that he will rent to anyone who can pay on time, since he also needs the money. Hope refuses to accept this and continues pushing him to evict Angel, even handing over the gift she took back earlier. When Hope returns to her clinic, one of her regular clients, Mrs. Collins, has already arrived for her appointment. She is accompanied by her new boyfriend, a young man named Jordan. After finishing the treatment, Hope later spends her evening relaxing at a cafe. While flipping through a magazine, she unexpectedly comes across an article featuring Angel and his Shimmer brand, which is being praised as the next big name in Hollywood skincare. Not long after, an actress named Jessica arrives at the cafe. She is also one of Hope's clients, and since they have not seen each other in a while, they catch up briefly. Hope happens to have one of her new moisturizers with her, so she gives it to Jessica, hoping she might post about it on social media. During their conversation, Jessica casually brings up a new skincare clinic in the area, but Hope brushes it off and does not pay much attention. Still bothered by the new competition, Hope steps outside to smoke and runs into Jordan, who is sitting at one of the outdoor tables. The two end up continuing their conversation at a nearby bar. Jordan shares that he moved to Los Angeles a few years ago and expresses admiration for Hope's ambition and success. Hope reflects on her journey, explaining how difficult it has been to build her business from a young age. She talks about rising costs, demanding clients, and even her divorce, all of which shaped who she is today. Jordan then opens up about his own dreams of becoming a professional photographer. For years, he gained experience by working as an unpaid assistant on various shoots. At one point, he even assisted at one of Hope's clinic events, and he admits that she was a major inspiration to him. Now Jordan has shifted his career path. He works as a motivational coach, while also training in martial arts and spirituality, and has even built his own company. Before leaving, he gives Hope his business card, offering to help grow her brand through his programs. Later that night, after returning home, Hope receives a disturbing video. It shows footage of her inside her clinic earlier that morning, which means someone has been watching her. Soon after, she gets a call from an unknown number. No one speaks on the other end, only the sound of breathing. The next morning at the clinic, Mrs. Collins calls to inform Hope about a strange email that appears to have been sent from Hope's account. When Hope checks her inbox, she is shocked. An email has been sent to nearly 5,000 clients and contacts, containing humiliating messages, claiming she is desperate for men and asking for money due to financial trouble. Overwhelmed and confused, Hope accidentally bumps into Angel, which only adds to her frustration.
I mean, are you kidding?
Oh, shit.
She immediately tells her assistant, Maureen, that her account must have been hacked. The damage is already happening. Several clients cancel their appointments that day. Without wasting time, Hope instructs Maureen to contact every client, both by email and phone, to explain the situation. She wants to make it clear that her account was compromised, and she prioritizes reaching out to Margaret first, a well-known Hollywood actress and one of her most important regular clients. That same day, Hope's talk show appearance is scheduled to air. But after the scandalous email spreads, the producers decide to pull her segment. Instead, the show features her competitor, Angel, promoting his brand, Shimmer. His concept blends skincare with microgravity technology associated with NASA, claiming it can reverse the effects of aging. Angel confidently positions Shimmer as the future of skincare, making Hope's situation even worse. That night, Hope asks Jordan to drive her to a cafe where she meets the host, Brett. She explains everything that has been happening since Angel appeared, convinced that it is all part of a larger plan to bring her down. Brett listens and expresses sympathy, but ultimately advises her to be careful, pointing out how unpredictable people online can be. On the way home, Brett promises to try getting her segment back on air the following week. But then things take an uncomfortable turn. He crosses a line and Hope feels trapped, knowing her opportunity could disappear if she reacts the wrong way. Sensing his true intentions, Hope quietly records their conversation. Brett continues to push boundaries, offering to make sure her appearance airs soon, but only if she agrees to something inappropriate. Pretending nothing is wrong, Hope keeps the recording going before quickly heading inside her home. The next day at the clinic, Hope notices Jessica arriving unexpectedly, even though she does not have an appointment. Suspicious, Hope follows her and soon confirms her fears. Jessica walks straight into Angel's clinic. Feeling betrayed, Hope storms inside without hesitation and confronts her. The situation escalates quickly, and Angel is forced to step in and remove Hope from the premises, making it clear she has no right to act that way there. Later that night, as Hope is about to leave, she is shocked to find all of her car tires slashed. On top of that, a new parking barrier for Shimmer has suddenly been installed in the area. She immediately calls 911 to report the incident, then takes her car to a repair shop owned by someone she knows, a man named Armin. While there, she also shows him a flood of disturbing messages she has been receiving from men, all triggered by the fake email that was sent out in her name. Armin quickly realizes that someone is deliberately targeting her. He advises Hope to start listing anyone who might want to harm her, and even suggests buying a gun for protection. He makes it clear that he is willing to step in and defend her if needed, especially since he has dealt with dangerous people before. It is obvious that Armin cares deeply about Hope, and he even offers to store her skincare products at his shop to keep them safe. Taking his advice seriously, Hope visits a gun store and considers purchasing a handgun priced at $579. However, the process requires safety tests and a background check that would take around 10 days. Not wanting to wait that long, she decides to buy pepper spray instead. The following day, Hope treats Margaret, a well-known actress and one of her most important clients. Hoping to rebuild her reputation, she offers the facial treatment for free and expects Margaret to share the results online. At the same time, an aggressive man suddenly shows up at the clinic. His behavior is unsettling, and it becomes clear that he believes the false advertisement he saw online, which portrays Hope in a completely inappropriate way. Maureen is confused and overwhelmed as the man grows increasingly angry over not getting what he expects. Hearing the commotion, Hope steps in and immediately forces the man to leave. Fortunately, Jordan happens to arrive at the clinic right at that moment, as Hope had invited him to review some skincare samples. He quickly helps remove the man from the situation.
Don't ever fuck my friends again, okay? You understand me?
After that, Hope calls the police to investigate. They arrive with a detective named Emerson, who confirms that there are fake online ads circulating, showing manipulated images where Hope's face has been placed onto other women using AI. While Emerson initially considers it might just be a malicious prank, he assures Hope that he will look into who is responsible for creating and spreading those ads. After the police leave, Hope notices Angel glancing toward her clinic, which only adds to her unease. Trying to calm herself down, she decides to close HGS for the day and heads to Jordan's place, hoping he might have advice on how to fix her business situation. Jordan reassures her, saying her skincare products are already strong and her personal story is powerful. He suggests that instead of fighting the negative rumors directly, she should take control of the narrative by hosting a launch party at her clinic. With his connections to models and her network of VIP clients, he believes the event could attract major media attention and shift public perception in her favor. The conversation becomes more relaxed as they spend time together, talking, laughing, and trying out skincare products. In the heat of the moment, their connection turns personal, and they end up spending the night together. The next day, Hope meets Margaret to apologize for the incident at the clinic and invites her to an exclusive online launch event. She also asks for permission to use Margaret's platform, which has a massive following, to help promote it. Unfortunately, Margaret declines, explaining that her schedule is already fully booked for the next few months. As Margaret leaves for another meeting, Hope briefly notices a man in a yellow shirt watching her. With Jeff continuing to pressure her for unpaid rent, Hope is forced to sell some of her clothes, managing to gather $1,250, which is still far from enough. At the store, she sees the same man in the yellow shirt again, and this time he appears to be following her. The situation is clearly getting worse. Soon, everything shifts dramatically. Hope's clinic becomes increasingly quiet, while Angel's business is thriving. Even her loyal clients, including Collins and Margaret, begin moving over to Shimmer. Watching Angel succeed while her own business collapses fills Hope with anger. She becomes convinced that he is behind everything that has been happening to her. She tries to explain to Jeff that Angel has been harassing her, spreading false information online, and even sending people to follow her. But without solid proof, Jeff refuses to take action and instead continues demanding the rent she still owes. That night, Hope decides to follow Angel to find out where he lives. As she watches his house, she becomes even more suspicious after noticing unusual flashing lights, even though he appears to just be spending the night casually. Without wasting time, she calls Jordan and tells him about Angel's strange behavior, convinced it is another piece of the puzzle. At the same time, the truth begins to surface. Jordan, who is seen working out in his apartment, is visited by the same thug who caused trouble at Hope's clinic. It becomes clear that Jordan was the one who hired him. He has been orchestrating the chaos all along, deliberately trying to destroy Hope's reputation for his own benefit. His goal is simple: break her business, shake her confidence, and push her into relying on his so-called success programs. Not knowing any of this, Hope asks to meet Jordan and insists that Angel needs to be dealt with, since the police are not taking action. Jordan calmly reassures her and promises to speak with Angel to resolve everything. However, when Jordan actually visits Angel's clinic, he quickly changes his approach. Seeing how successful Angel has become, with a packed client list, media coverage, and constant appearances on television, he decides not to confront him. Instead, he introduces himself as a motivational expert and offers to help grow Angel's business. Angel refuses the offer, making it clear he does not need outside help. Afterward, Jordan calls Hope and lies, telling her that everything has been handled and that Angel will no longer cause problems. Hearing this, Hope feels relieved, but that sense of relief does not last long. That same night, after finishing her skincare routine at home, Hope notices a man sneaking into her house. She reacts quickly, using her pepper spray, and the intruder immediately runs away. Furious, Hope confronts Jordan, convinced that Angel is still targeting her despite his promise. Her anger reaches a breaking point, and she tells Jordan to stay away from her. From that moment on, she decides to handle everything on her own. Desperate for help, Hope turns to Armin and explains everything she believes Angel has done to her. Armin promises to take care of the situation and make sure Angel never bothers her again. Still, Hope makes it clear that she does not want anyone seriously hurt. The next day at the clinic, Jordan keeps calling, but Hope refuses to answer. He even sends her a framed photo as a gesture of apology, but she ignores it. Soon after, Detective Emerson returns with new evidence. Surveillance footage clearly shows that the person who slashed Hope's tires was Jordan. The truth hits her hard. The man she trusted, the one she grew close to, has been sabotaging her all along. Panicked, Hope repeatedly tries to contact Armin to stop him from going after Angel, realizing that Angel is not the one responsible. But her calls go unanswered. By the time she realizes what is happening, it is already too late. Armin has arrived at Angel's house, and the moment the door opens, he attacks him.
I'm gonna help you. No, please, take whatever you want.
Angel fights back, striking Armin with a bottle, and a violent struggle breaks out between the two. Not long after, Hope arrives at Angel's house and finds the door left open. What she sees inside shocks her. Angel is lying on the ground, badly injured, his face covered in blood. At the same time, Armin is driving back to his shop, but he is unable to focus because of the head injury he sustained during the fight. The situation quickly spirals out of control, and Armin ends up in a fatal car accident. He does not survive. Angel, on the other hand, is left seriously injured from the attack. As police begin gathering outside Angel's clinic, Hope finally realizes the truth. The person behind everything is Jordan. That same day, Hope calls Jordan and asks him to come to her clinic, pretending she wants to discuss something important. But sensing that he is running out of options, Jordan makes a move first. He goes to the police and reports that Hope has been stalking and targeting her neighbor and business rival, Angel. Not long after, officers arrive at Hope's clinic to inform her that Angel was attacked the previous night and is now in critical condition at the hospital. Hope keeps her composure and simply expresses sympathy, describing Angel as a kind person. Once the police leave, Hope tells Maureen that Jordan is the one responsible for all the chaos. Fortunately, Maureen knows where he lives, and Hope immediately heads there. The moment she arrives at Jordan's apartment, she confronts him and unleashes all her anger. Overwhelmed by everything that has happened, she lashes out, using pepper spray and striking him with a baseball bat. Ironically, on the very day of her product launch, Hope is arrested by the police. She is accused of hiring someone to eliminate her rival, but even in that moment, Hope chooses to maintain her image. She dresses up and presents herself in a glamorous way, determined to stay in the spotlight despite the scandal surrounding her name. She tells the authorities that Jordan has been stalking her and sabotaging her business all along. The next day, Jordan is also arrested after evidence confirms that he defamed Hope and orchestrated the attacks against her. Meanwhile, Angel recovers from his injuries and quietly returns to running his skincare business, refusing to engage with the media despite growing attention. In a final reveal, it becomes clear that there was yet another layer to the story. Brett is seen meeting the man who broke into Hope's house that night. The intruder was not working for Jordan after all, but for Brett, who wanted to make sure the recording from their earlier encounter had been erased. As the talk show airs, the public is drawn into the controversy surrounding Hope, now labeled as a so-called skincare killer. In the end, the producers decide to broadcast her interview, turning her downfall into yet another spectacle for the audience. So the moral of the story is never trust a motivational coach who flirts too much. Your rival might be innocent, your helper might be the villain, and somehow your skincare business can ruin your entire life faster than bad acne.